Are you guys tired of spending your hard-earned money just to get terrible pack odds? Well, look no further. Visit my sponsor EasyMut.com for the fastest, cheapest, and most reliable Madden 21 coins. Use code JTibbs for 5% off your purchase. Yo, what is going on, guys? JTibbs back with another video. We got another Tibbs breakdown with the pros. Episode 5, man. We're already on episode 5. We've had 4 amazing personality guests on the show beforehand, but today's guest is probably the most accomplished Madden player, not taken away from anyone else, but he has the hardware to prove it. This guy is a belt winner, has won 4 times in his club of choice, and also his content creation career is taking off right now, man. We have really good friend of mine, Pavan. What is going on, brother? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, Tibbs. How are you doing today?
I'm good. And listen, man, I just wanted to take a moment to thank you for creating time out of your schedule because, guys, he's a very busy guy. So I really do appreciate that, man. There's a lot of things he could, obviously be doing and exerting energy elsewhere. And he chose to, spend, a good hour on the show. So I appreciate it, man. I really do.
Of course. Anytime.
All right, cool. All right, so, Pavan, I wanted to go ahead and just basically break down some points. So obviously you guys know Pavan as, pro Madden player. That's how a lot of people know him as. Maybe you know him just as the content creation guy, but I wanted to ask you and just kind of get into it right away because, me and you, we've talked a couple times, obviously, you're a really, really nice guy, really friendly to a lot of people and, a really, really good role model to a lot of these guys trying to get in the comp Madden scene and make content creation. So I wanted to ask you first things first, how did you get into Madden? What was your introduction? And it could have maybe been a different video game or just something like that. How did you get into Madden, just kind of playing it? And how was your childhood growing up pretty much?
So oftentimes growing up, we'd always watch the Raider game. And, I'm a big sports fanatic. My whole family is. We watch all the sports. We're local, so that means basically we root for all the semi-local teams. So for me, it was Oakland Raiders. Now it's Las Vegas Raiders. Obviously, I still support them. So, that was one of my favorite teams, the Oakland A's, another one of my favorite teams. And then the Golden State Warriors was my other favorite team. So, watching a lot of sports growing up, obviously you're going to play some sports as well. So, I played a lot of basketball. I was way too skinny, way too small to play football. So, I did play a lot of basketball. Plus, my parents didn't really want me playing football because it is a little dangerous, especially if, you're on the shorter side, smaller side. So, I just was playing basketball a lot growing up, watching all the NBA games, NFL games, MLB games, and, going into middle school, high school, I really was all right at basketball, but, I didn't really have the confidence or, the encouragement to actually go and try out. I was, a little scared that I wasn't going to make it, and all that type of stuff, but I was competitive, man, but, I was still a little nervous and, obviously growing up in high school and middle school, we all struggle with some of those type of things. So, that was that for me. And, I was bummed out. I don't know. I just had little confidence in that aspect. But, I turned it into, Madden Mobile. And, I played that a lot in high school, in high school. That's when it came out. And then from there, I kind of gained some notoriety from that. And, I kind of got my school hooked on a Madden Mobile. So, from there, everyone was playing Madden Mobile during the classes, during, lunch, during recess break, whatever it may be. And, that was cool, man. I had fun with it. But, when a lot of people were on that type of trend, that type of wave, I kind of like, what, man, I kind of want to switch this around, man. I want to go into console now because a lot of people already, doing this, doing that. It kind of got tiring of doing the same old. So, I got into Madden on the console, and not literally no one was doing that, at least in my high school at the time. So I was often spending a lot of time just chilling alone in the PS4 parties, whether just be playing or just watching other people play. And that's where I kind of got into watching Twitch and YouTube, man. So obviously I always had that competitive fire, so I kind of wanted to be better at the game because obviously we all boot up Madden, we're gonna get murked, we're gonna get beat bad whenever we first start up. So I wanted to get better. I hated losing. I always hated losing. So from there, I looked up YouTube money plays, YouTube blitzes, and then from there I'm like, hold up, bro, there's this thing called Twitch where you could do live streaming. And that's obviously YouTube is great and all, but it was kind of a little outdated, the stuff I was looking at. For example, a video I'd watch would be like already came out a month ago, and then I would constantly be searching for that date content. Like whenever I was on YouTube, I was trying to find the daily stuff that came out, the content, the blitzes, the crazy games. And I'm like, what a better way to do that than Twitch live streaming service. So this was around Madden 15, and this was obviously just a hobby at the time. I had a PS4, and like I said, I was literally the only one in my friends group that at least in real life friends group that played Madden. I got a couple of people to join up, but they really didn't commit too much time compared to me onto it. And then from there, I had to look out and find some online friends. And then we all know how that story goes. I got into Twitch, watching it quite a bit. And, there's some other people in the chat. I talked to them a lot. And, we'd wager for coins. We play.
Yep, I remember those.
Yeah. We play friendly games. We talk smack. We'd have fun. That was literally the big focal points of playing Madden is just
now quick question, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
But I wanted to actually ask you, who is your first Twitch streamer you watched Madden wise, who you're like you would watch a lot of and you really like their content?
So when I say it was like Madden 15 or 16, I do remember watching like T-Raw and Problem playing a lot. They would play quite a bit, not each other, but just they would play and stream a lot. And this was around, I think Problem used to be on PS4 at this time. And like he'd go on crazy game win streaks and head to head. And as a casual viewer, that's the things I like to see. And I remember T-Raw would often play like so many coin games, money games, and he was actually really, really good. He had some nice glitchy offenses and glitchy.
I remember
blitzes.
Back in the day, bro, when he again sorry to cut you off, but he would so when NCAA football was a thing, and I was in middle school. I remember playing there were YouTubers, I don't know if you know who these guys are, Pavan, but these guys are like some of the OG guys in Madden, like Addy Cards, Mr. Golden, Mr. Golden Thumbs is, obviously Golden Sports now. And obviously God's Thumbs, all that stuff. And I remember I used to be in parties sometimes with them. It's just because I was like kind of like I was like not a little kid, but I was in middle school, like going into high school, I was like a fan. I was like, oh my gosh, like, these guys are YouTubers. Moss to Chappie was another guy.
Yeah, I remember him.
I remember playing like God's Thumbs one time. I like just hit him up randomly, and like this is like when I was younger. So I invited him to a party. I'm like, this guy's not gonna come, and he like actually joined my party.
Wow.
And I think it's because I was on at like 6 a.m. And I guess like he was like the only one who like, cause he's in the military, so he's used to getting up early. So he'd be like, "What's up, man?" I'm like, "Yo, dude, I love your channel. I've been in parties with you and Addy. Like, can we get a game in?" He's like, "Sure," and he beat the hell out of me, man. I thought I was good. He just destroyed me. He beat me like, he probably scored close to 90 points, and I maybe had a field goal. It was bad.
Wow. Yeah, and honestly, that's like, I feel like everyone is so known nowadays, though. That's the thing. That's great for all of us. But, I know what you're talking about. Like, you think you're good. You're like, oh, yeah, man, I'm feeling good. Yep. And, like, these guys would stream, but like you still like even if they streamed, you still wouldn't fully grasp what was going on and how good they were compared to now. I feel like everyone knows actually how good each other is. How good everyone is compared to like even if they don't play them. But I definitely know what that aspect you're talking about is, like that unknown kind of like, oh wow, he's good, but I didn't think he was this good. I know what you're talking about. I know that feeling.
Yeah, and it was the best feeling ever because, like, even though I got my ass kicked, I'm like, wow, like, this is so cool. Like, I thought he would, like, in his videos, he just does this, and that. And
yeah,
I thought
it's so
I could
simple
beat it
to
with
them.
this, and he countered it.
yeah. 100%, man.
Yeah, those were the days, though, back in the day when I was younger, and I just looked up to those guys, and I was like, you know what? If I ever get a chance, to do YouTube or just, try and play comp, like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to experience it. I'm going to see what it's all about. And I can honestly say it's been a blast, and obviously you can speak more on the comp side than me, obviously. But, I mean, that type of stuff is fun. So, which brings me, obviously, to now. So, obviously, you're talking about you and your friends playing, your friends weren't really into Madden console too much. So, you're making new friends through Twitch and all that stuff on social media. How did you get into comp Madden? Because I remember, I think it was 18 is when I first saw you in the Raiders Club. If I could be wrong, but I think it was 18.
Yeah.
And that's when I first heard of you. And I remember you running that 4-6 defense. I remember I broke it down on my YouTube channel because I was like, this is really good. But how did you get into comp Madden? Like, take me through that process up to, like, current day.
Okay, so for me, it was, Madden 15, Madden 16 were kind of feel-out years. want to say that was like freshman, sophomore, junior year, somewhere in between there. And starting up in like Madden 17 is like when they actually started full blown MCS. I do remember watching the Madden 16 MCS tournament where Mo won. I was doing homework, and in the second tab of my laptop, I had that open, and I would just consistently go back and watch that, do a little homework, watch that. And I thought it was
You're the first
dope.
person to say that one's the first game. I think a lot of people, including myself, I remember watching on NFL Network Problem and Skimbo in 17. That's my introduction to it. So that's pretty cool. You actually saw it in 16.
Yeah, so Skimbo and Mo, and that's kind of, it was a rivalry, but it kind of obviously quieted down over the years. But
yeah.
They played a draft champions tournament, and I thought it was super cool being on that stage. I think Mo had his mom there watching, which is like super awesome.
Yeah.
And the capping and all that was super tough. But I was still didn't really know too much about it. And then Madden 17 came around, and they actually took off with the MCS, the Madden Championship Series. Basically, they would have they had quite a bit of tournaments. I think they either had 5 or 6 tournaments, and they were spaced out correctly, and there was always some action going on. So it started for me just watching a lot of MUT, and then slowly but surely that turned into money games or just people playing for a lot of money, or just high level ladder games or something like that, because the ladders were crazy in that year, the money games were crazy, and the tournaments were awesome. So I remember specifically watching one time in Spanish class. I had my phone out, hiding it underneath the book. We all know that glitch.
Yep.
So I had hid it under my Spanish book, and I was watching this. I forgot what tournament it was. I think it was in December, and I can't remember what tournament it was. But once again, it was Serious Mo and Skimbo playing again, and this time it was Madden 17. And it was a group stage game, so not that much mattered on it, but it was still a crazy game.
I think Mo won, right?
Yeah, Mo won again. Mo was running this Saints offense, and that offense was awesome that year. And I kind of do miss like having all these unique playbooks. Now it's a lot of just bunch or trips, which I obviously run bunch. I think I'll run bunch every Madden year, but I do like those high-powered schemes were awesome to watch, and they were so great for Madden. But going back to the game, I think Mo ended up winning. But it was such a crazy game because Mo was losing, I think, like almost the whole game until like the final 30 seconds, and he won. And I kind of just thought to myself, yeah, I want to be like these guys, the Kivs, the Mo's, the Skimbos, the Hollywoods, the Joels and the Drinis. I saw them on the stage. Joel and Drini didn't compete that year, but like I saw them quite a bit on the money games, and they had the youth movement. And, I was young. Everyone who was young, and like they messed with the youth movement quite a bit, and they thought to themselves, I'm young, I could be a part of it too. So that's where I kind of started turning up the competition. Madden 16, I was honestly pretty good, but like I wasn't that good because I didn't play enough people. But I would go out and play a lot of wagers for coins. I wouldn't gamble money because it just wasn't there yet, but I would wager a lot of coins, watch a lot of Twitch. Joel would always beat my head in, but like someone like Gaming Powerhouse, I'd always beat him. And that was super funny because, there was some toxic.
So mad.
Yeah, there's some toxicity there, but it was super funny, and he would get mad, and that's what it was about for me. I embraced that feeling of someone streaming, me and him were playing, someone streaming, and I throw a dot. I'd always just go in his chat looking and see what he said, see what the people said. Like, oh, that was a dot. Wow, I can't believe he had.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing. Playing someone who rages and seeing the chat just troll them.
Yeah, no, not even that, but like me playing Gaming Powerhouse, I'd always go into stream whenever I threw a dot. Obviously, see his reaction, but like I wanted to see the respect, like if people respected me or they typed, "Wow, this kid's good. Wow, that's a nice blitz. Wow, that's a great dot." That's kind of the feeling I love to see. So from there, I just stayed a lot on Twitch, got a couple friends. Henry was the first dude I met. We met through like this Instagram community. They traded MUT players, played MUT coin games, and all that type of stuff. It was kind of crazy. So shout out to the Instagram MUT community. Maybe one day I'll do a video about that or something. So we met there, and then we kind of played on and off. We didn't really mic up. At this time, I wasn't micing up enough, and then the pro players would probably always just mic up, and that's how you really get better is when you mic up and discuss. Wait, what zone was that? Oh wow, I didn't know that played that. That's really what I feel like where you get better at.
Yeah.
And so like I said, the Madden 17 MCS circuit is really what inspired me to get into it in Madden 18. So unfortunately, Madden 17, I was all right. I think a lot of people. What playbooks were popular that year? Saints was popular. Rams.
It was Rams. Rams was pretty good.
Yeah. So those, I was just one of those Twitch kids that running like, all the common plays, the meta plays.
Yeah.
But I was all right against it, and then Nickel Blitz came out, and I just had no chance because that Blitz.
I hate it. Nickel Blitz was impossible to guard.
Yeah, it was impossible to play against, and then that's kind of where like I'm like, you know what, I'm kind of done with this for the year. But I still watch, and then Madden 18, I went full into it. Madden 17, you had to be 18 older. Madden 18, they blessed all of us who were 16, 17. I was 17 at that time. They made it to now you could have your parent go with you, your guardian, and that was a blessing. That was just a huge blessing because that 1 year, you never know, man. If you miss that 1 year, you never know what could happen. But
exactly.
Due to that, having that year, was able to somewhat make a name for myself, somewhat get some cash, and definitely convince my parents that this is something I kind of want to do for, at least now. And, I got their full blessing when they saw me playing in the Orlando venue versus Problem Right, the go to Madden. And, they saw me only lose by 3. So that was Madden Club Championship. In Madden 18, I played Problem 21-18. He won. It's a great game. And, that feeling, I was sad. I had tears after I lost. Because, I was like 17 still. I was a little kid, man. And, the craziest part is it was literally my dad, Shugs, shout out Shugs, and VY were rooting for me to win. And literally everyone else was on Problem, as it should be, But
exactly.
That's how I maintain.
That's when you had the long hair. I remember that.
Yeah,
the long hair.
That's when I got the underdog mentality, man. I'm like, you know what, bro? I could care less if everyone's rooting for him. And like some people, they get intimidated by that. But that's when I loved it, and that's what I took into Madden 19. And obviously won the belt, and then here we are today.
Yeah, man, that's insane, man. Because I remember watching you come up. I remember that game. That was the year I think Problem went to the ship and lost to Ghosts. So I think that was the game to get into the main ones or on the in the Pro Bowl stage or whatever. But yeah, I thought honestly I liked the format the way they did in Madden 18 where you had the Pro Bowl, you got flown out to the Pro Bowl. I thought that was pretty dope.
Yeah, super awesome, man.
Yeah, it was really cool because like I remember I think I met Wink Goat the year before and he won Vikings that year and I was asking him, I was like, how was he? He's like, dude, it was so much fun. Like, we were on the field with a bunch of the players. Like, they were the mascot. It was just a great environment. So I thought that was my favorite year to watch, comp Madden. That was actually my first year qualifying. I got flooded in my club for Redskins. But it was just a lot of fun, man. It was just a lot of fun to watch you guys, and especially you compete, because no one really knew who you were. And, you were running a really good defense. I thought that 4-6 was really good, the way it matched on the bunch, and did a great job. So, I mean, yeah. That's pretty cool. And then obviously you beating Strafing, not like winning, beating him down, and getting that belt, man. How was that feeling? How was getting that belt? Like, take us through that feeling. Like, when you're on that stage and you're about to get a belt, how was that? Like, can you even describe it?
Honestly, it's you don't really know how you feel. You're just playing the game. And I witnessed this feeling like 2 weeks, 3 weeks back versus J-Wall, but I will say it here, like, I miss being on that stage, man. It just feels different. Like, playing J-Wall, it was obviously a finals game, but like it didn't feel as much as it did when I played Strafing. Yeah. So, being on that stage, like, they had all these people I didn't know watching, and I don't know, it was probably the best feeling ever, even though I couldn't tell you how I felt because it went by so fast, and next thing you know, I'm holding up a belt. So I kind of knew like I was gonna win, but like it's like not being in a cocky way. I had like this, feeling like I'm like, it's not like as in the game sense, but I just had this feeling like, oh, you're gonna do this, you're gonna win, and like next thing you knew, I won. But it wasn't as in, oh, this guy sucks type of thing, or Madden terms. It just felt like I already knew that I was gonna win, and sometimes that happens to me. I don't know, it's a little weird. Like small tournaments too, like a player's lounge or whatever. Like sometimes I could just sense that, oh yeah, like you have the edge right now. You probably will end up winning this. So that's just kind of how it felt. It really didn't kick in until the night later, the day later when I got back home and like I saw these congrats texts and this and that, and I mean, even to this day, it's the belt's chilling over there. I can't really describe how I feel about that.
That's insane, man. Yeah, I remember when I started playing comp, I was like, man, like that would be the best feeling ever, win a belt. And like it really wasn't, as when you're playing as a young kid, any money's good. Because right now, like, and like I don't know if I can speak for you right now, but personally, me, I'd much rather play for the money. That's just how I am. But there's like everyone plays for a combination, but it's mainly morally the greatness. You know what I mean? Like it's just like like it's just this esports becoming so big, and it's just you want your name to be big.
Yeah, man, and I definitely could agree with that. First, for me too, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a young hustler. I'm trying to get this money. I'm trying to win these belts, even for the money, the $100,000. But after you win, after you make these runs, and you realize how much time you put in, like it does become like at the end of the day, I honestly will take all the belts over the money. It's weird to say it, but once you get that first, then that's kind of how you think about it. Or even like as you're going up and then you make a run, that's how you feel about it. The money is great.
That's funny, bro, because Noah said the same thing. He's like, once you get that first, it's like it's an addiction. Yeah,
definitely, man.
Oh man, but that's awesome, man. I appreciate you taking us through that. Now, taking us to current day competing. Now, I wanted to mention, obviously, last year, you did pretty well. Obviously, you made the final tournament of the year. And but I obviously everyone knows about that. But I wanted to kind of harp on this year because you obviously made the run in the clubs as everyone expected. It'd be either you or someone else unknown coming out on that side. Personally, I'm not gonna lie. I thought Noah actually had the edge because I was like Noah's offense a little bit unique. So I was like, I don't know how Pavan's gonna have a tough time stopping it, but it's one of them is gonna win the belt. That's literally what I said. I said either Noah or Pavan will win the belt. I didn't think J-Wall was good, but I didn't think he performed like that. But how was that? How was that whole tournament run? Like, what was your mindset, and how was it till, like, obviously the very end?
So, like, I'm always appreciative of the grind, and this year is no different. Like, for me, the most fun and satisfaction I'll get is, loading into a rep game, talking to Discord, having fun, staying a little low-key, obviously, but that's, like, as much satisfaction as I'll get, obviously, like, playing and winning in the tournaments that you get a kind of high, like, feeling afterwards, like, after you win, it's, like, all so, like, it's a rush, it's, like, so sudden. That's, like, obviously the best result you could get after a big win or a tournament win or whatever, but the next closest thing to me is, like, whenever I'm grinding these grinding on these rep games versus, like, my buddies playing everyone, so at the beginning it was, I want to say, 818 members. There was Turbo Jeff that was in the tournament. There was Henry. There was Joe Rice, aka Wesley, and Colin. So 5, 6 of us were all in it together in the final 32. And Kobo, shout out Kobo, he played a lot. So we were all like passing around the sticks and like online obviously. We just kept playing each other and like Discord streaming it and just talking about, oh my God, I don't know how I feel right now, or I feel like the best right now. And that's kind of the satisfaction I like, is just like loading in, just chilling, playing, getting way better each game you play, learning a lot of new things. And that's forever how I'm attack a tournament. So that part was awesome, man. And I felt like this tournament, they did a really great job. It did prolong. It went on for a while, which is a little it kind of sucks a little bit, but at the end of the day, you got as many reps as you could play, and that's where I feel like TNC and J-Wall definitely had the upper edge compared to me, because they have such a big crew that they could J-Wall could literally play anyone in that crew, and they all run unique stuff. They run bunch, a couple bunchers in there, a couple trips. Obviously, D-Croft runs U-trips. But the thing is, like, they run it different compared to, like, they set the meta, I guess you could say, 100%. At least this year, they set the meta. So that they definitely had that edge. He had that edge over me on that aspect. But it was a great tournament. They gave us so much time to prepare. They gave us so much time to get the newest MUT cards, because this tournament was MUT. So at the end of the day, like last year, Madden 20 clubs, I had none of the cards I wanted. I didn't have a Michael Vick that came out in Madden Bowl time, I guess. I didn't have a Playmaker receiver. Everyone knows I love to use Playmaker. I'm one of the best with it. There's a lot of cards in Madden 20 clubs that I just didn't have or didn't, get to use, which obviously, it is, it's not an excuse. Volt probably would have still won, but, it definitely helps, like, using the abilities you love to use the most and all that type of stuff. So that's where I felt like this tournament was so awesome. they ran the tournament so well, so smooth for an online event. All the infographics and getting Derwin involved was awesome, and it was just a great experience to play.
Yeah, no, I thought this year, even though it was online, it was so much fun to watch. I had a blast watching.
Yeah,
the game.
100%, man.
Lie.
These games were insane, man. There were so many great
awesome.
games.
I would honestly say this is probably the most like fun I've had watching a tournament. It's funny because it wasn't in person; it was all online. It was just so awesome to watch, and like just
everyone is locked in, man. One thing I'll say is like obviously clubs isn't the final or quote unquote, because they say Madden Bowl determines who the best player it is of the year. I could agree with that, but at the end of the day, the Madden Club Championship is like the biggest prize pool. You could just tell it's like a more serious demeanor with everyone. Everyone was so locked in. Everyone was so serious, and obviously everyone is so serious and locked in for a tournament. But like it's just a different feel. You hopefully the next tournament upcoming, you could just maybe like notice a few things and just realize. But literally everyone is 100% locked in, ready to go.
Yeah, that's what I love about clubs because, like you mentioned, it is the biggest payout. And I've talked about this with a lot of guys. I think the payout should be a lot bigger. I think they can easily do that as the esport continues to grow. And I think they'll allocate a lot more prize money. But, clubs, obviously, that's the tournament you do want to take the most serious because, again, it's the biggest payout. So, like you said, the last term of the year is, determines the best Madden Player of the year. That's true. But at the same time, clubs is taken a lot more serious because there's a bigger bang for your buck in that. So I think that's pretty neat. But yeah, no, I appreciate you harping on this year's experience. I had a personally, I loved watching every game, man. I mean, every freaking game was just so much fun to watch until the very end. Like it was just awesome. It must have been even more incredible. Obviously, you made it to the finals. Playing in those games, that must have been a lot of fun. But so I wanted to kind of ask you, Pavan, how everything's going right now. So obviously, I believe you began this after last year in 20, if I'm not mistaken. You started doing YouTube and you started streaming more on Twitch, and you could tell you were making that jump from, okay, I'm just going to throw a money game up here just for the heck of it. Hey, I'll pull a good amount of people because of my name. But now you're like, okay, I need the best equipment. I need a manager. You got your social media manager, and you got all of those benefits that are obviously going to play in your favor. And like as someone watching, like if I knew nothing about Madden, I wouldn't even know you play comp Madden because your stuff is so professional looking and very serious looking. Like I'd be like, okay, that's my favorite YouTuber, not my favorite pro Madden player. So tell me about how you got into content creation and like what was like the switch that flipped. You're like, okay, you know what, I need to take this serious because I could do a lot of really, really good things.
So I always had that feeling like I want to be bigger in my brand, and when it's all said and done, I want to have something to rely on. And it was so weird. Like I didn't really take the first steps to it. And I met my friend Sahil. We had a college class together. This was I think late 2019 or early. Yeah, it was late 2019. It was an anatomy class, and
okay.
I was trying to become like a little bit into nursing because my mom is, and she told me that's a nice path to go into. I'm not, going into that now. I'm looking into other areas and other fields, something that more accommodates, me and all that type of stuff. So my friend was also, going in for that as well. And, at first we didn't really talk to each other. We just said, oh, do you have the notes? Or, are you ready for this test type of thing? And, we were just associates, pretty good friends. Like we didn't talk too much, but not on this aspect. And then next, we ended up having another class that was in the same field. This one's like physiology, and I think this was in the summer semester. And I literally saw him walking onto campus when this was so crazy because maybe we would have never met or never really would have committed into this. It's kind of crazy to think about. He was literally walking this way, and I think we were walking the same. I was going home, and he was going into the going into his next class, and we're talking yeah, man, any classes later on? He's like, yeah, I have this class. I'm like, oh wow, I have this class too. I was like, oh yeah, I'll see you then. And then
cool.
From there, we chopped it up. We talked about a lot, and he became probably my best friend in that class. And we just kept talking about other things. It wasn't first oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, but we started talking about ideology, thoughts, do what makes you happy, do all these different kind of aspects of life. You know, you got to do the hard work. You got to do this. You got to do that. Like something small. He put me on the cold showers. He put me on to working out, believe it or not. Like, I was like kind of into my fitness and health, but, you know, he took it to the next level. He told me all these great ideas and told me, like, you got to take care of your body and all that. You know, from him, I put on a couple pounds, looking really fit now. And what's it called? Like, from there, we started talking about, you know, do people know you play Madden on Instagram? Like, you know what, man? I don't really post too much on Instagram because, you know, I don't know. I just don't do it. I don't want to do it. I don't know how to do it. So that's when he came along. He decided to, you know what, let's start it off with like a simple post. And, you know, this was after we hit a workout after the class. Like, let's make a post. It's National Gamer Day. Let's make a simple post. Boom. Posted it. Got like 100 likes easy off the bat. Some people knew I played Madden. Some people knew I was like pretty good at it. But not everyone knew. And that's really what our goal was into that. And from there, he kept posting to Instagram for me. And, you know, we collaborate a lot on that type of stuff. And then slowly but surely, it turned into the Madden scene itself. You know, making in real life vlogs, doing nice edits, making YouTube videos. And, you know, here we are. You know, we're still growing at a nice and fast pace. Obviously, after this tournament, I've taken a little, not like a serious break, but definitely haven't been on the streams as much as I was in like the end of like last year. Definitely gonna get back on them. And same goes for the YouTube. I'll just put so much time into this tournament, and that this tournament, all tournaments mean a lot to me, but we all like the club tournament does mean so much to me because I've already won it once, and you know I put in all that time and got second place, and it was a blessing. But you know, like I said, we're gonna keep going. Like, competitive will always be my first, you know, thing in my heart. And then, you know, content obviously is, I guess you could say they're both tied, but I would always probably put competitive first because that's just how I am. But, you know, okay. Now we're talking about, you know, in the background here, making a small little studio. So, like, you know, maybe in the future, my MCS games or, like, you know, whenever we have a piece of content that we want to do, like, a little in real life footage before we do the MUT or, like, the Madden video itself, he could go back there, chop it up, and, you know, get it done, and, you know, maybe podcasting in the future. So a bunch of great things. EA definitely, you know, EA has blessed me with, you know, me playing Madden, making money off of it. So I thought, you know, let me invest back into myself and see how it goes. And so far, so good, man. I'm, you know, barely even started. And I have a long way to go, and, you know, I got to do a lot of the, you know, not so great work, and he does as well, and that's what he does and I do. But, you know, at the end of the it will be worth it 100%.
Yeah, no, I am. I actually didn't know a lot of stuff about that, which is pretty cool. I actually personally, and you may laugh at this. I thought he was your brother. I think some people think he's your brother, because I was like, I remember I think I was watching a tournament and I think it was Nick Mazzesko was like, yeah, you know, Pavan's brother Salil, you know, that kind of thing. And I was like, I was like, okay, I guess they're brothers. Like, you know, that makes sense. I was like, hey, they don't look too different. I mean, he looks like he's the older brother, but yeah, no, that's actually kind of crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, like he is my brother, not blood brother, but I consider him like a big bro.
Yeah.
He's taught me quite a bit of things, and he helps me out, and, you know, I help him out.
Yeah, you guys are a really, really good team. I really like how he's very dedicated. He's running the Instagram pages to a T. Very, very smart there. I mean, I'm assuming, obviously, you know, he's helping you a lot. Pretty much with everything, the YouTube, the Twitch, all that stuff. I mean, everything looks professional. You have the right equipment. You have all that stuff going on. You have the right back burners, as I like to call it, the right people supporting you.
Yeah.
You have organizations such as the Raiders. You have, I saw you talking with Ryan Hollins on IG Live. I mean,
it's my guy.
And shout out to Ryan Hollins, man. That dude's a big comp guy.
He's a dope man, bro. That dude is super dope, man.
That dude gets clowned so much, but if you guys don't know Ryan Hollins, the dude on ESPN, just making his appearances here and there, he's a big, huge fan of Comp Madden. Dude is a very nice guy. So I was watching that. That was awesome, man. I mean, you just got so many people in your corner rooting for you, man. And it honestly does feel like if you look at your YouTube channel, and you look at the content, I mean, I'd expect, like, with that type of equipment, I'm like, dude, this, like, if I didn't know the sub count, I'd be like, dude, this guy's got to have at least, like, 40,000, 50,000 subs. And, like, obviously you're not there yet, but I can see you getting to that point because you're building your brand. And the more you win and the more you get your name out there, which is, you know, how Salil is helping you out there, is, I mean, it's just going to keep on growing. Like, there's no telling where this can go for you guys.
Yeah, 100%. Like, eventually we do want to do... obviously we'll stick with the Madden and all this stuff, and we've barely even cracked the surface with the Madden thing. We've got a lot to learn, but eventually, like, we do want to kind of get into like just in real life stuff, like, you know, mentality stuff. Like, small thing would be like me working out, like a gym vlog, and hopefully, you know, helping some of my viewers get started in the gym, or, you know, fix their confidence up. And, you know, that's some of the stuff that we've dealt with, that we've kind of got past, that we obviously know a thing or two about, that, you know, hopefully eventually we could help others. And that's kind of what it's at for that. But, you know, that's a little along the lines, and we'll eventually get to that.
Man, forget the Maury Pavan show. It's the Maury Pavan show now, man. He's trying to be like Maury.
Yeah, not that quite, but, you know, you'll see when you'll see, basically.
No, man, I'm excited, man. I'm already a sub, man. If you guys haven't already done so, sub to Pavan. We're gonna leave all his links down below. I mean, the videos are good, man. I loved watching at the beginning of the year the weekend league breakdowns. I remember there was this one game where you went off like a tip pass to Bo Jackson. I thought that was pretty dope. And like, those are just fun to watch, those post-coms where you're just talking. It's just awesome because I'm like, wow, like I thought I was good at the game. Obviously, you're better than me. But I was like, I thought I knew this, but he just taught me something new. Like, oh, I didn't know if you did that with the running back, he would do that. That's pretty cool. And I mean, as someone who's like a big comp Madden fan, it's just fun to watch. And I try my best to, you know, compete and that kind of thing. I'm obviously not as good as you, but it's fun to learn. It really is fun to learn. And I mean, obviously, you know, if you see something and you do it and you get it yourself, you're like, wow, that's really cool. And like, you initiate that memory to, you know, muscle memory, that kind of thing. So yeah, no, that's pretty dope though. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all the questions I really had for you, Pavan. I just wanted to ask you a couple more things. But first things first, man, is there anybody you want to shout out, any links you want to shout out, any IRL friends you want to shout out, anybody, go ahead. This is your time right now.
Just want to say shout out to NACL. That's like a group I've been working alongside, and, you know, I'm with them, and, you know, basically they're trying to run some Madden leagues, and, you know, you'll be hearing a lot about them for sure. David Chen, he's a great guy. He's a guy who kind of founded it all. And obviously, shout out to my guy Sahil. Go follow him up. He's trying to create his own stuff alongside, you know, we're still working on this, but he deserves it, man. Sahil
very
goes
nice
hard.
Guy. Very nice guy.
Yeah.
I met him at DreamHack. That guy is that was him. Yeah, he's very nice.
Yeah, man, he's a gentleman, and he knows a lot, and he's super mature, and, you know, he deserves a lot more than, you know, he's worked for, and he's getting it slowly but surely. But, you know, if you leave him a follow, that's where it starts at. What's it called? At Sahil Goes Hard.
Yep. Don't worry, we'll link everything down below. I'm gonna link also Pavan's Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, all that stuff he wants me, and also the everything that we've mentioned. We're gonna link down below. Go ahead and check it out, guys. Let's go ahead and get Pavan some subs, man. Go ahead, subscribe to him, whatever you do. But yeah, I just wanted to thank you, Pavan, for being on the podcast today. It really means a lot. Now, I have one question. This is a fan question, but I remember you in one of your vlogs last year, I believe this was a club's vlog, you went shopping at JCPenney, and you said, man, it's crazy shopping here because I used to work here. So don't let you said something along the lines of that.
Yeah.
Is that statement still true today? Does that statement hold true?
It was kind of out of context. It was like more of so I used to work here. I hated working there. And I didn't really think like I would be making like vlogs type of thing. Rather than me shopping there, it wasn't like me, you know, that's crazy. I used to work there. Now I'm making vlogs and doing that type of stuff. Like living my dream is basically what I should have said. But, you know, I was a noob. That was probably like my first, second, maybe third even like vlog. And, you know, I'm still probably will make a mistake like that. But, you know, it was all in good laughs. And, you know, at the end of the day, that's the content sometimes you need, a meme-worthy thing. And, you know, hopefully in my, you know, for you guys, I'd end up saying something stupid like that soon or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was pretty funny. I was kind of embarrassed at first, but it was 100% funny, man. And it still is really funny to this day.
Yeah, no, I was laughing because I think it was Kane's.
Yeah,
he said so inspirational.
Oh my God.
It was just a funny thing. Yeah, it was 100% out of context, but it was just funny because I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, man, that's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that you're trying to become a meme once again. But yeah, man, I appreciate having you on the show, man. I really do, man. Any parting words? Anything else you want to say, or you know, go ahead.
I'm glad you're now, you know, you've come to the conclusion, like, you know, these podcasts are the move. just any and all type of content, get yourself out there. And you have a great channel as well, and
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I recommend, if you can't keep playing the game, man, you were right there on the cusp. Like, you just have to, like, reach out to a couple players, and maybe, definitely we could lab up one day, because, it'd be super dope to see, you make a clubs run or you make a tourney run, because that would do wonders for you and your channel, and, hopefully you get it done. You're one of those players that deserve it.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. I really do. I'll try and live up to the high expectations you set for me.
Anything is possible, man. Like, you could do it for sure, man. It just all time. And I know it may be rough with your, like, schedule. You seem like a really busy guy doing all of these type of things, but anything really is possible. Hopefully you could get it done, man.
Hey, man, I always said this. I said if I make a live event, I'm gonna blast EA, but I've had a change of heart. I've had a change of heart. I've had a change of heart. I'm gonna, if I make a live event, I'm gonna give y'all a show. Let's just say I'm gonna give y'all a show. I'm gonna act a fool, but still at the same time try and win. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for y'all, man. Hey, if Pavan, a belt winner, believes in me, guys, I don't know. I could do it, man. He said believe in myself, so I'm going to start doing that.
100%, man. And maybe a change of karma for the EA events will come in your way. 'Cause you did say you're gonna blast them. Maybe now. If you're gonna do what you do, you might make an event, man. We'll see, man.
Hopefully,
best of luck.
Hopefully. Yeah. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Best of luck to you in your future, obviously, endeavors with comp and content creation. Guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in today's episode. Again, go check out all Pavan's social media links and everything we have linked down below. Go ahead and give it a click. Go ahead and give it a view. It only takes a couple minutes out of your day. Pavan, I really do appreciate you coming on the show. But let me know, guys, down below who you want to see next on the next Tibbs Breakdown with the Pros. Guys, this is JTibbs signing off. And as always, peace.